All right, everyone. So today we're going to talk about synergism over codependence. All right. I'm going to talk a lot about what that means, what I mean by that. But first, we're going to talk about what we have um, been, what's the word, bred into as a society. We're going to talk about um, how I personally feel that we operate, how I feel that we should operate in order to get the most out of our experience in this human meat, what is this, meat pocket socket, whatever the fuck. But yeah, so basically I view life as a series of software updates. As I grow and as I learn how to be better. It's not a matter of being good or bad. Everyone is capable of both things. It's always a choice. So every day I choose to be better. I choose to analyze my surroundings and see how I can improve as a part of those surroundings. Um, I always thought that that was so like strange and so very clinical, so very computer like, because not a lot of people um, view personal criticism as like a critique or as like I would call them like when you send a report into your computer to say, hey, like this is a bug. Like I call it a bug report pretty much. So, once you get those bug reports from life and you've upgraded yourself or what have you, you know, always with the goal of existing in this world better than how you found it. So I say all that to say, it is totally okay to find family wherever you go. This society teaches us that it's weird to, it's not so much about latching on because I do believe in detachment, but let's get back to a society in which it's okay to experience one another and still set each other free. And how are we going to experience one another if we don't know ourselves? Okay. So I want to talk about how in this society it's really taboo to be confident. It's like if you're too confident, you're an asshole. And if you're not confident enough, you're a loser. And it's like, where's the happy medium? Well, let's reclaim that happy medium. Know that you can, it's okay to know what you bring to a space and still be humble about it and still know that there are other people in that space that also bring things. There's a balance there. Instead, society encourages us to rely on self. Yeah, you have a family, but you better hurry up and leave. You better hurry up and leave the house. Like, no, you're not meant to have your family there into your 30s. Like, yes, we know that these things are changing given the economy, but this sort of nuclear family model was like, okay, get raised until you're 18, then you got to know exactly what the hell you want to do by 18 for some reason, and then you literally have to go out into the world and, fuck the trauma you may have been through, fuck the healing you should do, just go and start producing for the man. You know what I mean? So this capitalistic model really encourages productivity. It encourages the individual. It encourages us standing alone so that we can feel like an island, so that we can feel like all we should do is grind, all we should do is stack our paper. But that's not true. Money comes to those who believe, money comes to those who give. All right. And I wholeheartedly believe that this machine of capitalism, of course, it's deliberate, but I feel that we could definitely benefit from reframing the model that we have right now from one of individualism and codependency to one of synergism and interdependence. All right. So let's talk a little bit about what interdependence is. But actually, you know what? We'll get to that point. Let's talk about this illusion of community, okay? So, this encouragement to always reach out, to always ask for help. But the minute you ask for help, what? Like you're fishing for compliments. Nobody wants to help. It's radio silence. What's going on, y'all? Like, why are we doing that to one another? I can't tell you all how many times I've reached out to what I thought was my community for support. And it's like a big deal to like share people's things now. Like, I don't care what time of day, I don't care what crowd I have, I will share your endeavors because that's just the bare minimum I can do. Like it's not about playing into any machine. It's about my friend needs support. And if this is how I'm going to support them right now, then that's how I'm going to do it. So, why do we continue to play into this? I have support, but we're like so reluctant to give it because we don't really feel like we actually have it at the end of the day. We don't really feel like the support we have is unconditional, because it's very rare that there is unconditional support. I, however, provide unconditional support so long as you match my energy. I don't like to feel depleted, and that's just a new thing with me, is going into interactions and giving my all, because I do operate in this synergistic way of life. I always have. I've always operated with the, well, what can I bring to this interaction to improve someone else's life? I feel like that's just a natural way to be. So I look forward to teaching others how to be this way. Now, excuse me. Back to this notion of synergism. I'll read you the definition. So, the definition of synergism: the interaction of two or more organisms to produce a combined effect greater than the sum of the individuals. Okay? Let's think symbiosis. Yeah, as in venom. Yeah. So, and now I'm going to read you the definition of codependence: an imbalanced, dysfunctional pattern. Think antagonism or dyssynergy, where the combined effect yields less than the sum of the individual parts. My marriage. Like I started to look up and I started to see, okay, I don't think there's ever going to be a point in which we are synergistic. And I wish that young me had known better. So, because I can't go back in time, I want to teach other people how to know better within themselves before they go out and try to find someone else to add to the chaos of life. Um, so, back to this notion of synergism. I used to think that the phrase 2 plus 2 equals 5 was like nonsense. I was like, what? No, that's so stupid. Like, it's obviously four. 2 plus 2 is 4. But 2 plus 2 actually does equal 5 when you exist in a synergistic relationship, because the sum of the two is going to equal more than what those two brought to the table. And I love this. I've always operated on that scale of, you know what, I know what I bring to the table and I know what you bring to the table. Let's bring something even better to the fucking table. Let's make something that the table wasn't even prepared to see. You know what I'm saying? So that notion of 2 plus 2 equals 5, that is the inherent truth of the world that we all want. We all want a world in which we can work together and actually receive something that's better than the sum of the two parts, right? We all want to see the actual fruit of our labor. And I also really want to talk quickly about this notion of not liking kids, because I understand the notion and the need for those of us who have uterus to reclaim our bodies and to reclaim the idea that our job on this planet is not simply to bear children and do nothing else. So that I respect. What I can say that needs to change is this attitude that children are an inconvenience, because they're not. In the world that has been created for us, absolutely they're an inconvenience, because we don't have the village like we used to. We don't have that synergism like we should, right? So instead of critiquing those innocent souls that did not ask to be here, how about we turn to the world around us and say, how can I create a world in which I can take responsibility for the children around me, because we were all children once. And I dare say the child never disappears. I actually got a download at the river today. And that download was something along the lines of, fuck the adult in all of us, cater to the child. The child matters most, because at the end of the day, the child is with us from start to finish. This notion of an adult is a fallacy, it's an illusion. There's always an inner child present in the center of your being. And the most important thing we can do is make sure that that inner child always feels taken care of, because that is the only way that we'll know true unbridled joy, unbridled happiness, unbridled peace. Yeah. So, all right. As I journey through this life as an island of one, because I am very independent and I love that, but I also am okay with making friends with strangers. I also find family in anyone I meet. I find myself in everyone I meet, because that's what life's about, is sharing love with strangers. And I encourage you all to improve yourselves with the betterment of the whole in mind. How can you feel more stable on your own? How can you stand more sturdy on your own? What are your true gifts? Go back and listen to my divine guidance meditation and see where your joy sits. See what brings you joy. Try to play with your inner child a bit. Um, yeah, I think that's all I want to leave you with today. Embrace your cringe. This notion of shame is a prison. Shame does not exist. Shame is a result of societal pressures. So kill that. Shame is dead. Exist in your joy and exist in the cringe, whatever that is for you, okay? And I bet you somebody will look at you and be like, damn, I wish I could do that. Damn, I wish I had the courage to do that. So be who you are. Be a better you every day for the betterment of the whole. I love you. Go have a great day.